Kia ora pihinga whānau. I hope you've all had a lovely 2 weeks back at school now. I'm doing things a little bit differently to normal, but I hope you've all had a really good time and got to do some new exciting activities and learn some amazing things. I've been so impressed with some of the work that my kids have been sending me, and I know that the other teachers are as well. So keep up the awesome work. I've got another science experiment for us to do today. So we are still working on our science capabilities and learning how to make observations and then record our observations to show others what we've seen. So we did the last one with the oil experiment where you had your cup of water and you poured your oil on top, then dropped some food colouring in, and we drew a little observational drawing of what we could see there. So we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to keep practicing those skills of observing and recording our observations. So today's experiment, we're going to be doing the same kind of thing and watching really carefully, seeing what happens, and then recording it for us. So hopefully you'll be able to do this one at home. It does require using matches. Okay, so you will need to have an older sibling or a parent to help you. If you don't have that and you're doing this by yourself, that's all good. You can just watch and see what happens, and I'll make sure that I get my phone and video it really close up so that you can see exactly what's happening. If you are going to do this experiment with me, I'll show you what we're going to use, and you can go and get those things and then come back. So what we're going to need is a glass jar. So this is like a Pig's peanut butter jar, something like that is a really good size to be using. You're going to need a little candle. So I've got this little tea candle that was one of the big long ones that I just cut off because it's going to sit inside of the jar, so you need to make sure that it will fit in there. But you can use any kind of bigger candle if you've got a bigger jar or something like that. You're going to need some water, some food colouring. You don't have to have food colouring, but it does make it a little bit more easy to see what's happening. You're going to need some matches or a fire lighter thing that will make it a bit safe to use, and a plate and some blue tack. Now I use blue tack to secure the candle. If you don't have it, if you've got a candle with a wide base, you won't need the blue tack, but this is good for my little candle here. So go and get those things, pause the video and then come back and we'll carry on with the next part. Cool, so how we're going to set up this experiment is you're going to start by getting just a little piece of the blue tack, rolling it into a little ball, and you're going to stick it on the base of your candle, and that's going to help my candle stay nice and still on this plate because we are using fire, so we want to be really safe. So I'm going to blue tack that down into the middle of my plate so it's nice and stable there. Alright, I'm then going to get my water and drop a few drops of food colouring into it. I think I might use blue. A few drops of food colouring into that blue, into that water to make it go blue and not drip any on the bench. I'm then going to get a little spoon and stir that up. It looks actually really cool when you drop the food colouring in, so make sure that you do have a wee look at that. So I've mixed up my food colouring and I've now got blue water. So you can pause it, do these two things. So you're going to stick your candle onto your plate and make some blue water. So go and do that now. Righty, so our next step is to pour this blue water into the base of the plate. So do it really carefully because we don't want blue water going everywhere. Whoop, like I've just done. There we go. So you want just a little bit of water on the bottom of the plate. Tidy up where I've made a mess. Okay, so you can go and do that now. Cool, so once you've got that candle stuck securely to the plate and you've got your water in the bottom of it, you're going to get your matches or your fire lighter, and you're going to get a parent to light that candle for you. Right, so we're going to watch really carefully and see what happens here. I'm going to put my jar over top of the flame, down into the water. Cool, so hopefully what you would have seen was that the water from the plate started rising up into the jar while the candle was still burning. The candle kept burning for probably a few seconds, and then eventually it went out and that water came rushing up into the jar. Okay, now hopefully you will see that the water is staying in there, and if you try and gently lift it, you'll feel there's a little bit of suction there holding it down onto the plate. Okay, so there's lots of amazing things happening inside that jar, but what we're focusing on for today is just your observations and your ability to draw me a diagram of what you've seen. So I'm going to get you to draw me 2 pictures. So the first picture, you're going to draw me the setup. Okay, so what you saw. Okay, so you had your plate, you had your candle stuck on, and then you put your jar on top. Okay, and then I'm going to get you to draw me a second diagram, and that second diagram is going to be this, what you see now at the end. Okay, so you will see that a lot of that water has gone from the plate up into the jar, and it's being held there. Okay, so that's going to be your follow-up task. You're going to draw me 2 diagrams, one from the start and one from the end. Now, if you are a smarty pants and you would like to do a little bit more for me, I would love to hear your thoughts about what you think is going on here in order to cause that water to rush up into the jar like it did when the flame went out. Okay, if you want to try this experiment in some different ways, you might want to do it again with a bigger candle or a smaller candle, in a bigger jar or a smaller jar. And you can see what the difference is between what we've done here and if you change one of those things. Okay, I would love to hear if somebody does give it a go with a different size candle or a different size jar, or find any other amazing things. Upload those to Seesaw, and myself and your other teachers would absolutely love to hear how this experiment went for you. If you're not able to do it at home, that's absolutely fine, because you can just watch this video back a few times and you can pause it when you need to and draw your diagram using this video.